Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you are amongst the 50% of the people watching this that have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click that link to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And if you are, please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You will be warmly welcome back on the next stream. In a moment, I'm going to check everything is functioning and the link's working. If one of you from the chat could just click the link that I've just pasted into the chat screen just to check that the show works, I'd be very, very grateful. And again, if you've not shared the show, please share, as it increases the live audience and that in turn increases the diversity of the people on the panel. One last time, if you've not done so already, be sure to share, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. That was quick. We've got our first guest in. Let's just turn up the sound on the Hangout page. Bear with me, new guest. I'm just sorting a few things out. I will be with you any moment. Here we go. Have a good show. I think it's just someone testing that the stream works. Thank you very much for testing the stream.
Hi, pal. Hang on, let me get rid of that. You there?
Let's see if I can sort you out so you can actually share screens. Bear with me a second.
Sure. Because if I share screens and sounds, it'll work perfectly.
Shouldn't need to share sounds because you're coming through anyway. I can just move your page across, I suppose, onto the over the Hangout page, and then you'll be.
Are we live now?
We are live now, yeah.
So do you want it just screen, or do you want screen and sounds? Because I'm sure you won't get my sounds otherwise.
Well, okay, well, whichever. We'll try both. You're now screen sharing. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I'll just put you on so the audience can see you. There you go.
You see my screen?
Yeah.
Minimize that so it's the right size. Right, let me just, before I do this, let me just pop open, oops. Oh, bloody hell, shut that door, please. Just open up another window. Because what I want to do is open up the chat. while my dog kicks off. Right, now I've got the chat open. Right, so let me just make sure that I can hear myself on the... Right, yeah, so that works. All right, so obviously the reason why we're doing it this way around is because I'm likely to get sniped at the millisecond I start talking about this topic, because the trolls are all in, and I was hoping that Nathan would be on a little bit earlier to avoid the trolls, because usually the trolls are in bed on the morning show, which is brilliant. Really, what I want to do is talk about Soundly's experiment, because Soundly's released his evidence for, or his results of his experiment that he'd done. And I'm going to start with a massive thank you to Soundly, and obviously to Jesse and the volunteers that were involved in the experiment, because without these people, this observation would not have happened. So massive thanks, shout outs, and all credit to the guys that were involved in this. This is really good scientific empirical data that we can all use, and there's not a lot left to the imagination from this one. I appreciate, and I'm sure everybody appreciates, that Soundly has spent a lot of time, preparation, risk. I mean, the guy's risked his life by playing with in a canal or a bayou. I think the best word to describe it for the English people is a canal that is alligator infested. I mean, that's crazy, right? So massive shout outs to everybody that did this. And for those that are not familiar with what's happened, he's put his P900 on a tripod at the beginning of the bayou. And then what he's talked about is the effects of refraction from the outset. I'm not interested in the refraction. I'm interested in the curve, because what he shows is, as he's going up and putting all the lamps on the what he's doing is he's putting a lamp on every mile marker on the post that's nearest to the mile marker. So it's not an exact marked mile, but it's close enough. Wait, Tom, I'm live. She's in a mood. Anyway, so he's put a lamp on every mile marker out to the 8 miles. And what I've done is I've... where is my thingy gone? There it is. I've done the maths for what is the expectation on the model. And essentially you've got the 8 mile markers down here, and then you've got the drop that is supposed to be observed from this experiment. So obviously from the first mile marker, you're not going to see anything. It's 8 inches from the front. Well, the first mile marker is the first one we see on the shot. He has got one further to the right, but it's out of frame. 32 inches becomes 5 feet, becomes 9 feet, becomes 14 feet, and it goes up exponentially as it gets towards the end. Now, I was in Imrich's channel recently, and Soundly caught up with me in there, which is great, because we were able to talk like adults, and we were able to just chat, and we did. And thanks to Imrich for allowing it to happen. And thanks for Soundly for coming in. And what I was able to get from Soundly was what was his prediction. Because my prediction was based on the Taboo conspiracy videos, which were based on 8 miles. And he could see clearly the light. Soundly said, it was poor quality, it was out of focus, it wasn't good enough to make any real observations. And I said, well, the fact that we can see the light at 8 miles means that we're going to see all of the light. We're going to see all of the lights. What's your position? And he said, there'll be definitely lights missing. So my previous video, or my most recent video, was playing back the observations that Soundly had, or the predictions that Soundly had made. And basically what had happened then was Soundly attacked me for quote mining.
Are you okay?
Yeah, she's in a mood. He attacked me for quote mining. So what I want to show is basically the confirmation bias from a couple of his comments. Essentially, look at Miles, for instance. Awesome Soundly. I can imagine a lot of flat earthers challenging the refraction effects soon after darkness. No one's interested in the refraction because it's negligible and not worth calculating for. Also, good to see the camera height confirmed as plenty high enough to see all of the lights. This is just confirmation bias in its total perfection, right? Because the maths is not supporting you seeing all the lights. Soundly's prediction was based on the maths, and the prediction and the maths showed us that we should not see all of the lights. So he claims that I'm going to claim some sort of Pyrrhic victory. Forget the refraction. We can do it on the maths, because we know that he's got a measured 5 feet above the water. Soundly says that I was lying and I quote mined and I mischaracterized what I said. I didn't. I played it in context and I said exactly what you said. So obviously I've responded saying that I don't think you guys understand what standing by your words actually means. It's not quote mining, it's citing you and your prediction exactly how you did it. So watch this space. That's what we're going to do now. Now, on his video, you only really need to see one frame, because you can pick any frame out of the results that he's got, and they all do exactly the same thing. This is the first light that he puts in. There is one off to the right, but this is his first one, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh. So that must be the eighth. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe there's another one down here. Oh no! So the first one's just off screen, but because we know that they're a measured distance off the surface of the water, and he's measured them at 5 feet, it means that we don't need to be on any particular angle because we know that this is measured up to the surface of the water. So all we need to do is put a straight line on it and see what it shows. And what then we see is that they're as flat. It's basically as flat as a pancake. So the first one has got more glare to it because it's closer, but that's just touching the glare. This one drops. That one is about the same distance away. Little distance away. Then it starts to go back up again, and then it goes back up again. So we are seeing a little bit of refraction, but the refraction is exactly what we would expect to see when applying the Skunk Bay footage, which is this one. So the Skunk Bay footage shows that when we observe refraction, we see that there is variations based on depth. And sometimes they're taller, stretched and shrunk, and sometimes they're smaller, stretched and shrunk. And it's all to do with the distance that you're looking, and it's to do with the vertical element of the shot. It's not anything to do with arc mathematics. It's the variation on the pressure vertical, which is what we see in the Skunk Bay. And we can apply this directly to what we see with Soundly. Now, when Soundly's done his experiment results, it's worth going back to paint for a minute, because you can see that it's a dead straight line. When you go back to the actual maths, according to their maths on their model, the 8th mile marker should be 36 feet below the first. There should be 36. That's like six Soundlies stood on top, like one on top of the other, on top of the other. There should be 6 Soundlies stood between that one and the first one. Now, there clearly isn't 6 Soundlies at the back. So you've got to go with the perception that if we can put a straight line over them, and they don't show the required level of curvature as per their maths, the only logical conclusion that you can come to is it's either flat or no less than inconsistent with the maths that they present. This is not reflecting the curvature of the Earth. There is no evidence here to support it being a curve. Even if, the refraction is minuscule and it's not worth calculating for. I'll just show you that that is what the authority for that is. It is this one. No, it's not. It's the next one. So it's that one. So refraction, this is cited from an article that Mick West suggested that I read, which I did read. And it says, under standard circumstances, the effects are negligible. It's under non-standard circumstances where refraction, you can see things like Fata Morganas and whatever. But normally the effects are negligible. And then you have to consider what the meaning of the word negligible is, because for some reason, this is where the refraction argument gets distorted out of all reality. But the word negligible simply means so small or unimportant as to not be worth considering, or insignificant. So refraction effects in normal circumstances are insignificant, which is, of course, what we're seeing here. We're seeing a little tiny bit of shimmer on some of the lights. That one's clearly got a little bit of refraction, but it ain't bending behind no curve. It ain't dropping off in any curve. And you can see that the 5 meter or the 5 feet that he's measured from the water surface is consistent with the reflection, and it's all the way across. If this really was bending over the curve, as you get further and further away, this distance here should be getting smaller and smaller to the point where it extinguishes. Now, the argument here is going to be, well, it's the observer height. You're far too high. You're not going to see it. Well, it doesn't matter if we've got a measured distance above the water, because we know that that's 5 feet and that one's 5 feet and that one's 5 feet. These are all 5 feet above the water. Put a string line across the top of them. If it's flat, it's flat. It looks flat. It does not look curved. It is not conforming to the maths that they say. So, unless there's some other magical way to interpret these results, the simple fact of the matter is that Soundly's now got evidence that's completely inconsistent with his model, because we are not seeing 36 feet worth of difference at the other end. It lines up perfectly. So now the question becomes, is there any other way that we can interpret this evidence soundly? And if there is another way, can you show it? But the reality appears to be that it's no less than bigger than what they tell us. Geometrically, it's bigger than what they tell us. But it appears to be flat. Standing water, it appears that you've just confirmed the Bedford Levels experiment. It appears that Wallace was wrong to claim a victory, which I've said from day one he was never entitled to claim. You're supporting the Bedford Levels experiment results. You're supporting that Wallace was wrong to claim a victory. Now we can understand why the other guy lost his temper and ended up in jail because he was fighting all the time because he knew it was fraud. So the question is, soundly, is there another way to interpret these results? Or is it exactly the way it appears? It appears to support the assertion that the Earth is not a ball of a circumference of 25,000 miles. It's flat. And if it isn't flat, it's got such a little amount of curve in it that it's significantly bigger than what we're told. So show us the explanation, Soundly. Where are we going wrong with the results? Because it appears to be consistent with us and not consistent with heliocentric ball maths.
Very cool.
What do you think, Nate?
Very cool indeed. Very nice. I'm going to run through a few of my links, then minimize your screen share, providing you're done screen sharing, that is.
But massive shout out to Soundly though, because I think we all appreciate that you have actually done something really credible here, and it's really good that it's been a doubling up with Jesse. So massive thanks to everybody who's involved. We all appreciate it, and thanks for risking your life. But yeah, that's me done. I've got to go and do a bit. So I'll leave that one with you, and thanks for not sniping me, trolls. Oh, couldn't do it, could you? Damn.
Massive thank you to Anthony Riley. If you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click that link to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the show using sock accounts. You will be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Hopefully a few of you have now shared the stream, as there is about 65 people watching, so please share the show as it increases the live audience, obviously, but this in turn increases the diversity of the people who are on the panel, so please share. I'm going to transition back to my photographs so I can continue to share the show, as I hadn't done it on account of the fact that Anthony Riley presented some compelling evidence from Soundly. So once more time, if you have not subscribed, click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Rather than sitting here in silence, as there is currently nobody in the Hangout, I will do a few shout-outs to the people who have joined us in the live audience. Hope you enjoyed the presentation from Anthony Riley. Dawn Treader UK, good to have you here. Nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Be sure to share the show. Fanny Lancer, just a letter H. Wonderful. Good to have you here, Fanny. Everett Anderson, nice to see you. Pleased to have you in our live chat. Thanks for being here. Yvette, aka Rebel, nice to see you. Make 4, frequent troll / contributor to this show. I've been joined by our first guest. Excellent stuff. Been joined by Curved Water. Very pleased to have you here, Curved. How are you doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah, you couldn't hear me earlier when Riley was talking, I guess.
Also been joined by Make 4. Very pleased to have you here, Make 4.
Hey, mate.
Great. I'll go on mute.
Quiet. Hey, Curved.
Evening.
Yes, it is for me.
Yep. How do I know that?
Because you've got us all written down on a piece of paper and you monitor us and stuff. I don't know, you're from the CIA? Oh, I mean, because we're on a globe.
What makes you think somebody needs to be in the CIA to know where you are based upon information that you give everybody? Interesting tactic on your part there.
Tactic.
Yeah, tactic.
Okay.
Yeah, the silly little you must. I can't. Yeah, I can't argue against you, so I'm gonna call you a shill or imply that you're from the CIA. Nice work, Marcus. You must be proud.
Super.
So what do you bring to the flat Earth debate today?
Well, man, I don't know. Doing a little bit of study on that south of the east-west sunrise sunset thing, and just sort of realizing the stars as well. Like I've been monitoring a bit my south celestial pole. It freaks me out that I can see that pole, like, but when you actually like look at it, like, because I'm pretty far south, but I don't know. Yeah,
You're not very far south.
Well, what was it, like 31 degrees or something? I forget what it was.
I mean, I'm farther north of the equator than you are south of the equator.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And I'm kind of considered to live in the south in terms of like the country and certainly the continent.
But yeah, like once I sort of had that figured out a bit, I was just sort of confused because my eyes, to me, from what I've seen in camera work and like balloon shots and the mountains and the horizon and that P900, damn it, it's my eyes are saying flat on the ground level, which is understandable because, you know, there's a lot there. It's quite a large circumference, I guess you could say.
Been joined by, sorry to interrupt you, Mayfall. We've been joined by P. Mars. Very pleased to have you, P.
I like books.
That's good to know. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, and I don't know, the celestial pollen that is like I'm seeing a sphere in the sky, and seeing the globe model work in the sky, but at my eye level, I just still can't believe it, and which is so screwed because this whole time I've been studying this stuff, you know, I've already read books about the South Celestial Pole and blah blah blah, and I sort of sift through it all, and there's so much to go through about all the different topics and ideas that people have, like, and so you sort of just read by and go, oh yeah, I understand that would be there, like, whatever, okay, keep going. But like, you don't ever really like fully believe in something sometimes until you actually go out and like monitor it in the sky and look at it yourself, and like whatever you do, I don't know where you are, just like mark stars somewhere somehow and try and learn. I make up, like, I've got to the point now where I've started just being like, I don't care what the constellations are called right now, I'm just going to make up my own little constellations. And like, I can see these patterns and I'm just like, that one is always there, it's always going that way, I'm looking down the other way, checking out the other stuff, sorry. And like, excuse me, yeah, but it's just my eyes still. The camera stuff is still so flat. at eye level.
Been joined by Earth Flattener. Very pleased to have you here, Earth Flattener.
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Hey, Kurt. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Hey,
We gonna get some live action shots of the sky here, or what?
someone trying to talk?
Hey, Kurt.
Yo,
Did you listen to Riley's presentation? Did you listen to Riley's presentation?
I heard some of it.
And so, what do you think about?
I think that your connection is a bit jacked. Very difficult to understand you. Sounding very
I think I can
digital.
paraphrase. He was just asking what you thought of Anthony Riley's presentation, Curved. I think that was the general question.
As always, I was quite impressed with what Riley was doing there. Not necessarily in a good way, but I was quite impressed.
How so?
What is he talking about? Does he even know what he's dealing with there? He's calling this the results of the test. I read a few comments in chat to the contrary. I don't think Anthony knows what he's working with there. We've got time. I'm in no rush. I'll wait for the full results of everything to come out.
What did you make of the long line of what appeared to be level lights, Curved, that he presented just?
Where did the camera appear to be, height-wise, in relation to everything in what he was showing?
Is that your reaction? Your reaction is to question where the camera was placed.
Yeah, that is a question. Yeah, I saw him. Didn't he put a viewer height into the calculator there?
Yeah, I can't rewind. I've not got so that if I get porn bombed, it doesn't affect me and I don't get shut down immediately. There's no DVR, so I've turned all that off, so I can't just rewind and see it. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, like I said, I didn't see the entire thing. I saw a tripod that appeared to be up like on a hill. I think he may have taken some shots from a particular vantage point, possibly to see the overall setup or something. Not sure. I don't know that. I don't believe what we were seeing was from 6 feet above the water in Riley's presentation. I think he's jumped the gun. I think he's calculated things incorrectly here, improperly due to that. Like I said, rather than jump the gun myself, I'd like to wait, but it certainly appears that the lights in the beginning there are well below the camera level. I don't know the elevation of that camera. So until they release, everything and, finish up with whatever video they're going to make and all that, until I have that, I think it's kind of senseless to comment on it myself. So I'd rather wait.
Pretty reasonable position to take, Curved. You go ahead, mate. 4. I was just saying, fairly reasonable position that Curve's taken. Too early to say.
I was just going to bring up a video that Hank was showing. It was called The Principle, which is about all of the theories that were sort of coming in during those old times around like Galileo and Copernicus or whatever. Like, just wondering if anyone's seen it and what they make of it. It seems it was fairly recent. It was like 2014, I think, that it came out, and sort of like a few high-end sort of profile people that were just sort of like, you know, trying, well, not doing it in a bad way, but just saying like some of the science is wrong and blah blah blah. So, you know, the heliocentric model is still very much like a theory, kind of, but I don't know. No, I'm not. Horse-wearing people costume. You are. Stop it.
Principle is essentially an argument for geocentricity.
Mm.
One of the first things I watched after Math Powerland saying the words flat Earth and me going, Eureka! Yeah, Principle was one of the first things I watched. Been a long time. Seems like it's recent, but it's a good 3 years ago probably that I watched it.
See, like when I was saying like I've been looking at my stars and it's really looking spherical to me up in the sky, but the ground looks flat. It's very confusing. So like, I don't know, man. At this point in time, like any model to me, you could just say, oh, like flat Earth, it goes around above us, but it does little curves, so like little wobbles or something. So it rises a bit south of your east and west in the summer and this and that. Like, you could just about say anything to me right now, and I'd probably go, "Yep, concave hollow flobe." You know it.
Well, Marcus, I mean, living in the southern hemisphere as you do, having basically nightly access to the rotation of the southern stars, do you question that there is the same type rotation going on for us in the northern hemisphere where 90% or so of the population of the earth lives?
Yeah, man. I got a map and I mapped out sunsets and sunrises for like a few countries around the world, like near the equator, down where I am. I mapped like America out, how your sunrises and sunset looks from like January to July sort of thing. Or June, like whatever. Went through them all and sort of like was looking how the Earth would work on an axis and like pretending I was on the Earth and how the sun would look as it came around and the angles that it would be on and making sure they were all right and stuff. And pretty much did like finish on a heliocentric finish, which was weird. But that was just for the stars. Like that all I can say for that is it's the stars like that do that for me, including the sun.
Right. All right, but you accept that there are two celestial poles.
I haven't seen them with my own eyes. I can only vouch for south,
Right.
and it's turning clockwise.
And do you accept that there are two, or is that in doubt in your mind? Do you think that all of the northern hemisphere is lying to you?
I would like to hope we were still allies, America. I really would.
Well, what about the Europeans? What about Russians?
Oh, bloody Russians. Jeez, that guy just smokes weed all the time. I don't know.
Chinese, Japanese.
No. Yeah, no.
Everybody sees the northern celestial pole in the northern hemisphere. We don't. I don't really think that's in question. It would be kind of ludicrous to to doubt it or to think that, it's some great conspiracy that the entirety of the Northern Hemisphere is conspiring against the South to fool you guys about the Northern Celestial Pole.
No, not at all. I don't feel like that.
So if you realize that there are the two celestial poles, how do you model that on any kind of a flat scenario?
Right.
Do you see the problem with that, for one?
Yes. The only way would be like some sort of magical dome.
It would be quite magical. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, that's where I'm just totally on the fence, because I've never touched that dome with my damn finger. Or seen like someone shoot a gun at it with my own eyes and go pew. Oh, okay. Like, so.
Well, you're not going to hit it. It's not there. It's not a material. It's not a material object. The Southern Celestial Pole. Remember, that's that point in the sky, like you align your telescopes to. Somebody joined.
Been joined by Critical Thinking always. Good to have you here.
What's up, Nathan? What's up, Curve? Make 4. What's up, everybody? P. Morris, what's good?
Sky, sun, moon, usual stuff.
Fair enough.
I like your avatar.
Thank you. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I heard you guys talking about the principle, and real quick, I just wanted to come in and I wanted to just ask you guys. After I've kind of walked back, right? I'm on the fence. I don't know whether it's a globe. I don't know whether it's flat. I kind of looking back now. I kind of feel like Geo versus Helio, leaving the shape of the Earth argument off the table for a minute. Just Geo versus Helio. I kind of feel like that argument never really got its day. I think we went straight to, flat versus round. And I just wanted to, see if you guys thought, I don't know, I'd like to see a really, a really spirited, level-headed Geo versus Helio debate. I haven't really seen one.
I think it'd be better if like Flat Earth would have been labeled itself as like globe questioners rather than flat earthers, because like you put yourself in a position of having to prove the Earth is flat, and that's like pretty difficult. So
yeah, just instead of going flat, just go after the globe itself first. Try and deconstruct that.
But flat Earth is like a buzz term, catchy word, clickbait word. So I think that's why the people went with flat Earth.
Well, the guy who created the principle, Rick Delano, he actually said the words, "I believe flat Earth was a psychological operation to kill the real argument, which was Geo versus Helio." Now, I don't know if I agree with that or not. It's just a very interesting kind of supposition, because it really does feel like if you kind of look at the timeline of the principle, it fell right damn, like the flat Earth basically like 2 or 3 weeks later overtook the entire argument. So I'm just wondering if maybe there's some truth to maybe it's not a psyop, but maybe that there's some truth to the fact that they didn't really get their fair shake at an argument. I don't know.
Well, geocentricity has had, I think, more than a fair share.
Yeah, I know.
It's an older theory.
I meant in the context of like a newer, in the YouTube days, a modern kind of argument. I mean, we've seen the flat versus round argument for 3 years. Me personally, I don't think it's going to go anywhere on either side. As far as the Geo versus Helio, I don't think we've really seen I mean, it's touched upon here and there in debates, but like I'm talking about, we get the leading geocentrist up there, whoever that maybe is. Maybe it's Rick Delano himself. And we get the leading heliocentrist that isn't as dogmatic about the shape, maybe leave that shape argument to the side on the table for just a second and kind of hash out the Geo versus Helio, because, I've seen even Tim Osman has admitted to the possibility of a geocentric universe, but with geocentricity, all your orbital mechanics must go out the window. If the universe is rotating around us, all the orbital mechanics get thrown right out the window, because we're, the sun, which is way bigger than us, is orbiting around us. So their orbital mechanics get thrown right out the window there. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of looking for, I don't know. I'd like to see a heated geo versus helio debate and leave the shape out of it for a minute. That's just my kind of thoughts. I don't know.
Well, do you have a particular GC model that you think is correct?
No, not really. I mean, I guess just the basic geocentrist position that, you know, the Earth isn't moving and that the universe is moving around us. What we look up at the sky, and the basic premise that that really, if either one was true, you wouldn't really be able to tell anyway, based on, you know, observation and how big basically the universe is. You know what I mean? But I don't know, just like the base geocentric argument, it would be nice to see that kind of fleshed out with the you know, the cosmic background radiation, and just kind of see like a really well fleshed out argument on that.
Well, what's your mechanism for retrograde motion?
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't have a position on it or anything. It's just something that I think might have been skipped over. I don't think it might have gotten its day in the sun.
I think it's too complex to argue, because you're getting into like orbital motion, and that's like I don't even really understand how planets.
We've been joined by Jamie Woodstock. How you doing, Jamie?
What's up, Jamie?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Hey, Jamie.
How are we, guys?
Good to have you here.
Curved. How are we? Thank you, Nathan. Cheers. Anyway, sorry, continue, guys.
Yeah, I think that the geo versus heliocentric debate is like way too complex to have on YouTube Hangouts, because it's like very getting into like
and especially with the people in the chat at the moment.
Flat Earth is simpler.
There's a really good guy with it. I forget his name. It's like Cathexis or something. He's pretty good with it.
No, he's not. He's absolutely not.
Well, he seems pretty good at it. But anyway, like
that's
the
his
thing
trick.
Putting me off the geocentric model basically lately that I've discovered would be that exactly what I've been rambling on about these last few days, which is that for me that below east and west sunrise sunset thing, because I had to figure that out. I had to put myself on a globe, like get a globe more or less, and like pretend I was on it, where what the sun would look like, and the angles of it. Like when you get those angles of the sunrise and sunset, and realize what's going on, that really puts the axis in motion. So but that's all I know. That's the only thing that would put me off it, and maybe there's an explanation for that with GC.
And you know that on well, that's actually a shape of the Earth thing. The globe is what causes what you're seeing.
The below east and west thing. Yeah.
Sure. And you're going to see the sun rise and set according to the position of the sun over the Earth, like the latitude that we see it above.
Sorry, what?
How far south of east and west, or whether it's east-west or north of east-west, is entirely dependent upon the position of the sun over the Earth, like what line it's tracking directly above. Latitude-wise. You know, I mean, like after the solstice is coming up, after that, the sun's going to start moving back north again for you for sunrise and sunset, all the way up until equinox, where it's going to rise east and set west. And after that, you know, as it's still moving towards the
it goes from like summer for me is south, and then winter, or it'll go up to the north. Like
your sunrises are going to start to become north of east and sunset north of west.
Another problem is, like, has everyone, you know, that's a good point, Curve, because...
And right now...
sorry.
Sorry, Paul.
Bad internet connection.
Introduction coming.
Yeah, we've been joined by... Who have we been joined by? Sorry, Paul. How you doing, Paul? Oh, good to have you, Paul.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
One of my favourites. Good to
have
you.
Everyone.
Oh, nice to meet you, Paul.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
There's three Aussies up in here. God damn it.
I think the problem
is getting a bit late for you too. No, sorry, man. again.
Oh no, I think a big problem, which still hasn't really been addressed, and now that I'm on the fence, I'd like to kind of call it out. I don't, and there's really not enough people calling bullshit. Like I'm sick of seeing the rocket hit the dome firmament video posted on Facebook when it's really
I'll
a
call
simple
bullshit on that straight away. Jesus.
No. But like, I still, oh my God, I still see it. Sorry about that, Nathan. I still see people throwing that up there, and it's just like, well, when you look into it, it's actually a spring-loaded mechanism to stop the parachute from tangling up into itself.
It's called the
very
yo-yo.
common.
Yo-yo.
Yeah, and it's a very common thing in amateur rocketry, right? But still, to this day, I still see people throwing it out there as proof. I still see people throwing out P900 star, unfocused star footage as proof. And I think that if we're going to do this, we really need to make a better point of calling out that bullshit. And I know you guys have, but I'm just saying, in the larger text of the argument, I still see it floating around there, and it's bad information. And it's a problem.
It's more, it's getting too, how do I say it, like spammed with just the same thing over and over again. Like some dude's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna prove flat Earth too, and they go out and do like, hey guys, I'm at the beach now. What up? Yeah, beach. They do a little view of the beach and stuff, and like,
Bondi.
oh, zoom in, zoom out. Like, yeah, okay, and then like, just do 2-minute ones or something, and just go, look at this, quick, in, out, and okay, that's it. What do you think? Like. Or just don't do it at all, and just try and study stars.
I gotta be honest. I'm on the fence now. I don't know whether it's flat. I don't know whether it's round. I'm admitting that I don't know, but I will say this: when I became a flat earther, did the whole thing. I just was going off my base. Like, there has been nothing new in the flat Earth argument. There's been no groundbreaking. After 3 years, there's been no ground. We haven't gotten anywhere. We're still where we're at in 2015. We're still where we're at. And
is that?
So I don't know.
Well, I think
exactly. That's a good point in what you just said just then, my friend.
We've got a really good opportunity. We've got a really good opportunity coming up here. Does anybody know what's happening now between about the 13th and the 16th of December outside? In our skies right this very moment?
No, Paul.
The Geminids.
Santa Claus is coming to town?
Nah, the Geminids. The Geminids.
Stupid stone, I know that.
Yeah. You go outside and look up in the sky. You have to be dedicated. You have to do it about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning if you're here in Australia.
What about from the East Coast? What about Brisbane, Paul?
Yeah, same thing. And look up in the sky, and you should be able to see at the peak viewing times around about 90 meteors per hour coming in. And the source of this meteor shower is a asteroid called 3200 Phaethon. It's not a comet, but it's in a comet-like orbit, and people with the telescope can actually get their telescope out if they know what they're doing and actually look at this thing and see it in the sky. It's what causes the Geminids, and we can actually look in our telescope and see it. So those people that want to actually see something from space can look up in their sky and see it.
Yeah, but Paul, can I just interrupt you?
Yeah, sure.
No, this is a joke, but yeah, but that's such a good argument. So no person would ever, be like, oh, that's fake. But if I didn't agree with that, which I totally agree with you, but all I would say to that is, oh, no, it's a hologram or something like that. You know what I mean? So you can just keep going with the argument. You know what I mean? Like, as a good point you just had just then. Does anyone agree or not? I'm sorry.
Perpetual confusion. It's great for the government, really.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, we're just specks. Whether you
Sorry,
believe
Paul, that was brilliant.
Honestly, we're just specks on a piece of rock, whether you think the rock is flat or not. But we're looking at things that we might not really understand. Now, I'm not saying that,
and that's the brilliancy of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So why do we have to be fucked up and be? No, I'm sorry to say that. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, Nathan. But why do we have to be like that? Because at the moment we think We love it. We live on a rock. Yes, it's round, but we don't have the answers. And look at this amazing world. You know, I'm being a bit of a
I think more the point
dickhead at the
here,
moment, but you know, that's like the logic thing. You know,
you're not really getting the point here. The point here is that what flat Earth mathematics predicted this? What did we use to predict when this was going to happen? Okay. What mathematics did we use to calculate the orbit of this thing via careful observation? How do we know every time when we're going to be having this meteor shower at the same time every year? How do we know where to point our telescopes to see this thing? We do it because we understand and we use the mathematics of the heliocentric model.
exactly.
Okay.
How do they fly for so long? Like, that thing goes out wide, right? Like, and then comes back. Why does it keep missing and we just keep seeing it all the time? Sorry.
It's just the orbit. I mean, why does it keep missing? I don't know. It's just
Can't it just hurry up and hit us and end it all?
It is actually one of the...
like. Isn't that amazing in itself?
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Like, it just keeps passing by.
So what do we have to dig around for a conspiracy? You know what I mean? This, you know what I mean, guys? Oh, shit.
He's saying that we're just going to be here forever, guys, wasting our time and not really getting anywhere.
We know the orbit of this thing so well. We've been watching it for 30 years now. We've been watching it for 30 years, and we know the orbit so well that we know it's not going to hit us or come anywhere near hitting us, at least for the next 400 years.
Until NASA needs a boost in their budget, right? Just kidding.
If they need a boost in their budget, they run a bunch of stories about life on Mars.
Yeah, I was pulling the leg there.
So no, but that's actually true. They run a bunch of BS stories about life on Mars to get public funding for.
Well,
I wanted crap.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I'm like, you know, and I called out NASA on TV because I do believe some of what they're showing us is fake. But when people are like, "Oh, NASA's stealing $51 million a day," they don't need to. The American government, with one black unacknowledged special access project, can steal up to $1 trillion of taxpayer money, and just say, "Oh, it's for national security. It's black budget. It's for a secret plan we're working on." So they can steal $1 trillion at a time. They don't need to fake ISS footage to steal $51 million a day. Just saying.
I know you wanted to have a geocentric debate, but oh man, I'm going to start talking about P900 footage. You guys probably don't want to hear it, but it was really getting me today. That's all. Like the damn flat horizon.
Anything specific, or just all P900?
From a ground level.
The P900 truth detector.
Well, yeah, I mean that's it. It is a digital zoom, so it is sort of like, isn't it? So
it's 83x optical.
Okay.
If they're using digital on top of that, shame on them.
It wasn't the flat floor thing that I was doing, although that thing is good. But like I was looking at a beach, a P900 footage of a beach with this dude today. I forget who it was. Sorry. And like you could see there were boats on the horizon, and they sort of, it looked like the horizon dips over the back. Like you think they start going down over it, but then like the horizon is there, and it was super far away, like the max zoom. And you could, it looked like after that boat was going to be nothing else. But then after that, you could see like this shoreline and this building like dead flat, like right behind it.
Was this today, Maxwell?
Yeah, I was just checking it out today. It sort of was getting.
So where on the so east coast of Australia, looking at the Pacific.
Oh mate, no, this was a video on YouTube.
Oh right, well yeah, okay.
Well, what do you expect to see?
Holograms?
No, what do you expect to see when looking at that horizon?
Holograms.
Oh my god!
It would be interesting.
Don't be silly.
Sorry.
There's reports that
you always get onto something decent and you back away with silly comments.
Well, okay, yeah, it was really getting me that the angle that I was looking at it was like.
Just stick to what you were going to say, man.
those boats on the horizon really looking like that was the horizon, but then magically there was like this building behind it. Like, no, I'm still over here, but like, so that boat there is just like tricking your eyeball kind of thing. Like, there's
exactly.
No
so
horizon.
now we need to do more experiments about it.
Right,
you know,
right.
And
What
get,
about,
you know what I mean?
Is the no swearing rule to keep Australians and Scotsmen off your panel?
Yeah, sorry,
No,
Nathan.
not
I
at
didn't
all.
mean to
It's
swear.
a
I'll
blanket
cut it out
rule.
from now.
I just want to say this, P, as
What
you've
about
asked me. Sorry to interrupt you
I read
guys.
an article, and apparently there's been a few people throughout history that have had this ability. There's a 20-year-old woman, and they've done tests, and she
What
can
was her
see.
name?
I've got to look it up again, but I'm just saying. I'll find
That'd
it.
be good. Oh no, I just love doing my research on whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I'll look up the name right now. But this has been reported in a few people throughout history. The ability, now they're saying that she can see with her naked eye 20 times farther than the average human. If that's true, now we can see about 100 miles max on a perfect day. If that's true, that means that this woman can see 1,000 miles. Now,
Whoa.
Going to be
Whoa,
an
what do you mean?
evolutionary default, and she.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm calling nonsense on that straight away.
yeah, well, you could call nonsense. I'm not saying it's true or not.
That's what I
just
mean by
saying-
I'm calling
evolutionary
nonsense
default.
on it for a really
you know
good
what I mean,
reason.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm calling nonsense on it for a really good reason, because the human eye is resolution limited because of its diameter.
Exactly,
Okay.
and evolution.
Well, what if she was born with a bigger eye?
No, but she can't. Like that thing hasn't adapted to our. That thing hasn't adapted to our goddamn circumstances. So
I'm just
how
saying,
could that
maybe there's-
amazing thing just adapt out of nowhere.
I'm just saying
You know
we've
what I mean?
seen, and I'm
That
not
just
saying
shuts
I'm,
ding 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 ding.
no. I'm
We
not
need to
saying
let
that.
you
I'm just saying we've seen P900 footage ad nauseum at this point.
Now go back to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, maybe there's another I don't know, another out of the box way of thinking of going about some of these experiments.
Is
Just
there
saying.
something wrong with talking about
evolutionary
what Marcus
default,
expects
maybe.
to see
Just that one time.
when he's looking
you
at the
can't have it.
horizon? He's complaining that he sees it as being flat, and he seems to be a little bit confused by this. And I'm trying to figure out, what does he expect it to look like, and why?
It's just that if you can get a faraway shot with a building in the background, but you need it so you can see the bottom of that building, so you'd know. Like this one, there was a shore. Like the building had a shore next to it, like a little beach. So like I could see the boat on the horizon look like it was going over it, and then behind that is another beach shore, like kind of thing, and that building. And so you have to get a good shot like that makes you see two horizons.
How much of the building were you seeing?
How far away was it exactly, though? You know what I mean?
The dude said 20 miles.
Dude said,
20 miles.
Okay. And how much of the building were you seeing?
Like it
in a
was
YouTube
really
video, though.
fun, but like it was most of the building. It was just like, say,
So
a
minus
two-story
the editing and all that bullshit, you know, you can't take it seriously, dude.
True.
How have you determined most of the building?
Like
Is that
I come in here because I think Nathan's doing a great job. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Kurt, but you know, it's a very good discussion. But you know, let's just keep the trolls out. You know what I mean? With silly fucking questions.
Nathan is an overprivileged potato.
That's true.
Trolls?
PMARs.
Intro time.
I think the conversation is the best thing, to be honest.
We've been joined by Mr. Grim V. How you doing, Grim?
Here he is.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, Graham?
What's good? High fives all around. Everybody
After
was
his
having
wank.
water critical thinking.
Now, you said your hellos. I will just tell the audience that we've got about 1 hour left on this live stream. So if you did want to join the panel, there is one gap left. Please click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. There are a couple of guests hanging on by a thread. And I will answer P's question. The reason for the no swearing rule is it tends to be the case that people get angry and start swearing. So that's my excuse to boot people that are basically too angry to continue to be on the show. So please don't swear, as eventually I will just kick you off. If you'd like to support the show, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Okay.
let me just say my apologies, Nathan.
All right, so
we will
Marcus.
be warmly welcome back there, hopefully.
Yeah, always. So Marcus, what you're getting at is you expect to see the horizon curve down to your left and right. Is that correct?
After the boat.
Is that what you're getting at?
The boat was on the first horizon, and the building was on the second horizon.
You don't.
So there was two horizons.
No, you don't have two horizons.
Yeah, there was two horizons. That's what I'm saying. No. That's what was weird about it. That's what was weird about it.
Okay, where's your
video? Man, I don't even know who it was. That Cathexis guy.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you don't have two horizons.
I'm gonna look. I'll have a look.
Now, why do you expect the water to curve down to your left and curve down to your right in your line of sight there? You know, as you're looking away at
I'm sorry, what?
Why do you expect the water to curve down to the left and down to your right?
I wasn't saying that because it would be flat for the first mile at least, or roughly, wouldn't it?
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a circle. And why do you expect the circle to appear scalloped in your orientation? You realize you're basically in the plane of the circle. Your eyes. Do you realize that?
Are you trolling?
Do you realize that your eyes are basically in the plane of the circle when you're standing at the beach, or go out to sea, and you have a horizon all around you? There's a big clue. All around you. That's the same distance, you know, to every point away on the horizon, basically. But your viewer height has you practically in that plane. The plane of that circle. Do you not understand what I'm saying? Do I need to say it differently?
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
But does Marcus understand it, or is this blowing his mind?
No, I understand.
He understands. He understands it. He's just trying to figure out something to say back.
So, do you really think that?
Marcus.
Do you think that horizon is a straight line, Marcus? The circle
you mean directly
around
from me, perpendicular from me?
Your field of view. Yeah. Do you think that that's a straight line, or do you realize that you're looking at an arc of a circle that
going
surrounds
down,
you
away from me? Yeah.
Why is it going down away from you?
Well, eventually it would.
With the circle?
It would curve. It would curve at the back, like at the back of the horizon, where the horizon is.
Why?
After
why
the
in
horizon,
your view? Why in your view would it curve?
Because I can see. Well, I'm going off those curve calculations though, and I can see
the curve calculations are not for that. The curve calculations are according to basically a great circle, which is like going to be represented by your line of sight, the center of your line of sight as you're looking. That's the drop of the earth away from your horizontal over distance in your line of sight.
Sorry.
Geometrically, you still don't seem to have a grasp of what's going on here.
I can see a horizon line, and I don't expect to see another horizon behind that.
Yeah, but you mean curve like his perspective line. That's your first angle you go off, isn't it?
I'm not gonna. I don't know. What do you mean perspective line?
All right. So when you, yeah, don't worry.
So the only way to gain more vision after that perspective line is to gain elevation, so I can see over the curve.
What do you mean perspective line?
Basically, the horizon.
Yeah, like his line coming out of his curve. His line coming out of his eyes. He means.
Yeah, line of sight.
Like, you guys are trying to like draw a diagram on a page. You know, I was just trying to help you out with the drawing of it.
Right. So, I mean, is line of sight bad?
A circle around me, and after a certain amount of
because it makes so much sense to me right now. You know what I mean? It just makes sense, and without, if you don't understand that, you know what I mean? It's.
I'm sorry. What?
Sorry, don't worry.
What makes sense?
What curve is saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, go on. Like, what?
Oh no, I'm not going to elaborate on that.
I mean,
Not at
curved.
all. I have not that much knowledge, man.
You realize you're looking at a circle, right? Marcus?
To the left and
plus
right.
I can't see the screen, by the way. Shit.
Oh, we're not showing anything. This
Oh,
is
sweet, that's all right. Yeah, sweet.
I thought that this was simple enough that we don't need to actually draw pictures for this. I think everybody here knows what a circle looks like, Marcus.
Yes, curved. I'm right here listening, and I understand that when we look around, we're hopefully looking at a globe.
All right. So why do you expect the horizon to dip down to your left and right?
I didn't say that at all. I never said that, ever.
Well, what is it that you're expecting? Because you point out the horizon looks flat.
Well,
for what purpose?
Not like that. Not like that.
Why should it not?
Did you just laugh, or are you?
I'm not laughing. Somebody's laughing. It wasn't me.
I can't help but laugh.
I believe I'm laughing inside. I'm trying to be polite today, but I would like a serious, straight, honest answer.
Here we go.
And me too.
I mean, Marcus, if we can't get anywhere with this,
can we just start it again? Start
our own
acting like I don't understand. You're acting like I don't.
Just ask the question again from the start.
So we have people that are interested in a geocentric versus heliocentric debate, but yet don't seem to want to take part in it. Does anybody have any answer for the retrograde motion of the planets?
Not at all, Curved. I'm out for that one.
Cathexis.
Anyone?
Cathexis derped out electromagnetism.
What about
it's all about the whole relativity thing, and
I asked him how that worked, and he had no answers for it.
Flower shapes.
I think the best thing is to show respect where respect's given. Yeah. If you have nothing to say, show respect.
All right. So
it's all about like Aries stuff and all those dudes that we're testing. I don't even really understand. Maybe you guys can elaborate a little bit. Like looking at a star with a 5-degree tilt on your telescope, and then you whack water in it, and it's changes it up a bit, and then like somehow that proves stuff. And like you can see, is it true that like when you would see the star like moving or something inside the telescope?
I got my hand up, by the way, guys.
Okay, talk.
No, I'm joking, dude. I'm sorry.
I like your style though. That's a good one, you know, because I sit there all the time, like, hey, can I say something?
No, I just meant no. Yeah, but you just had the thing. You just had the nervousness to be like, oh no, you go. Yeah. I was just like, oh, after that, sir, I'll jump in. You know, so continue, man. I'll jump in later. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not a big proponent of the gravitational lensing thing either.
Well, this is something that blows my mind. We were talking about geocentricity versus heliocentricity, and Marcus jumps to Aries failure, which was an experiment
can I just ask a question quickly, guys? I'm just ether
drag.
I heard this, all right, so say you have a... Sorry, Curved. I just want to ask you, Curved, personally, because I think... Well, I have a lot of respect for you, to be honest. But say you got a sphere. Let's go back to your sphere. Remember how you brought up a sphere, sorry?
Are you talking about like the celestial sphere that I was talking
about?
No,
just think of a sphere. So, all right, and we got the equator line, you know, equator line around the sphere. Okay, and then what, so just pretend the distance is, I don't know, 1,000 miles.
No.
No, just pretend. All right, so, and then if you just forget I said that, sorry. I just had a few drinks, so. And then you flatten that out. Is that equator line the same exact distance?
You mean like if you were if you flatten out the globe map, is that what you just said?
Yeah, exactly. Is the equator
it's the same circumference? I think probably, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly me either. So that's what I was just asking.
I think more to the point though is that you cannot flatten out a sphere.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I was going to jump in with something like that later, but yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, isn't that like debunked everything?
You can make the equator any size you like. The fact is, you can't flatten out a sphere.
Exactly, and that would literally, Paul, would that be larger of a size, obviously, if you flattened it out?
Well, you'd have to distort something to flatten it out, wouldn't you? All right, if you maintain
that one measurement would fuck up. Oh, sorry, Nathan. Would screw up everything, man. Every time thing, every time zone, everything. So that it couldn't work on a flat Earth. The distance between just that little distance couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Like
that would screw up everything on that one map.
There's just a few small things.
The Dodo map, sorry.
Like sort of plane travel and stuff. Like and with relativity, if we are carrying the whole atmosphere around in an anti-clockwise...
Can I just get a tiny little rebuttal from anyone on what I just said then? Sorry, Mac4. Love you.
If you take a look at the Gleason's map...
Can anyone, like anything I said then, Paul, can you elaborate or...
Well, I mean, if you're going to flatten it out, something's got to be distorted. If you make the equator, if you make the equator the same size on your flattened out map, then something else has got to give. Okay.
Yeah. Distance equator to the poles is going to suffer.
Yeah.
If you try to take,
but and then didn't before curve, you said you asked Make 4, which I love Make 4, but you asked, if the, it was like, is there two poles in the Earth? And if the flat Earth was true, there would only be one pole, wouldn't there?
Sure. The other would be
because there wouldn't be a second pole if it's been around. If it's around the rest of the fucking land masses and ocean, it's not a pole, obviously. Is that true or not?
That's how it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But back on this thing with the globe and the flat.
But hey, but guys, boys, I'm on the fence, remember.
If you try to, taking a look at a Gleason's map and how they try to smash out the Gleason's map like that, you take the 6,000 plus miles distance equator to the North Pole.
I want to talk about bird migration as well at some stage. That'll be in the next few days.
And
sorry, Kurt.
To follow up on your point there, if you take the 6,000 plus mile distance equator to the North Pole, that's the radius of your equator. You are going to end up with approximately 38,000 mile circular circumference equator.
Exactly. And it's going
See, the proportions don't work trying to flatten out the globe onto a Gleason's map. The Gleason's map as a map is utterly insane. It can't
I'm pretty sure someone in California lifted up from a lawn chair and went over the Pacific. So I'm pretty sure someone else in the history of man, even though it's a short slither of time, I'm pretty sure some madman has picked up a plane and, flown out a little bit and seen that little ice wall, but I'm on the fence, boys,
Can I just go back to Grim, man? You sounded like you were getting revved. Is Grim still here?
Yeah, I'm
Grim sounded like he was getting ready to explain to me a little bit about like Aries and all those dudes and relativity and stuff, and how the telescope with water works. It sounded like you.
I was asking if you were. What I actually said was nothing of the sort, but what I did say was.
Is this a debate though?
I'm
pretty sure rebuttals are necessary in a debate after someone makes a decent enough point. Unless it just gets kicked to the curb in the dirt and shit. I don't know.
Marcus is just asking a question.
No, I was talking about me. Sorry, Curve. I'm pretty sure. I thought I was, but I don't know.
Oh.
Someone told me to shut up if I
My bad.
wasn't making
I don't need to
Oh,
step in on that. I think
they don't want to answer your question.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Curve.
None of the flat supporters want to answer that.
Okay, because I'm gonna jump on maybe in the next few days because I'm loving this, guys. I think we got a good community going. Thank you to Nathan, and appreciate listening to all you guys. But I want to start getting into bird migration because there's some answers behind that. But anyway, I'll leave that till next time.
Pleasure having you. Try not to swear next time. Almost got booted a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nathan. Hey, I'm not going. I'm not going. Don't worry about that. I'm still here. Unless,
yeah, like, what's up with the water telescope? Like, you know, there's something about.
There's still nothing? What the hell? Alright, let's just get the water telescope. No, water telescope.
I don't know. People are claiming like that Aries thing actually does prove a stationary Earth or something.
Yeah, why would they say that? Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm asking.
Okay, are you giving them any credence?
I think you might be mixing up Michelson Morley and Aries failure, and you might be confusing the two.
Well, there's a whole bunch, right? Like, and then that other one, like, way or whatever it is, who like they spin light around on the wheel, and they reckon they can see it change time.
That's Michelson Morley.
Sanyak again.
Talking about an interferometer? Sanyak? Sanyak with a G? Like cognac?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Never mind.
Sanyak with a C. Yeah.
So why are we really talking about these things? They were designed to test for detect ether drag, and they didn't find any. So what are we talking about here, and why?
Some of them say they did.
Well,
because
the Hitchens died, and the world.
They get mirrors.
No.
Anyway.
Who said they did?
None of them were able to detect any ether. Just so you know, none of them.
Yeah, I don't know what
wheel,
we're coming up with this.
Spins light out of time.
Spins light out of time. But they've not been able to actually call it the ether.
They shoot light. They have this wheel, and it's got a laser in it. And then around the wheel, they shoot it at mirrors, and it bounces around the mirrors and comes to a sensor. And they split the light as well, so it makes two signals. And they time the signals of after they get split.
He's talking about the Sanyak experiment.
Yeah,
with the C.
When they spin the wheel, it puts the light off time, and they don't arrive at the sensor at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, everyone comes in with false information, and people. That's why that's the reason I stopped using Facebook about 8 years ago, because people just scroll through. Oh, here we go. You know. Oh, look, the world's ending tomorrow. Let me tell my friends. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan.
For sure.
September 23rd.
Like, get off that bullcrap. Get off YouTube.
23rd.
If you want to learn something, try and learn it yourself, you know. It's ridiculous.
New guest, intro time.
Tony,
so
very pleased to have you here, Tony.
trolls?
Good to see you, Tony. How you doing?
Hey, Nathan. How you doing? What's up, guys?
Hey,
Good
hey, nice to meet you, Tony. In voice. Person.
What is up? Good morning.
All right. So again, why are we bringing this up, Marcus? That's what intrigues me the most.
Dude, I'm asking how it works. Are you that?
Why? What's the point of it? Hey, Marcus, let me ask you this: how many peanuts does
Don't
it
jump
take to make peanut butter?
You know, dude, don't jump to insulting
How many peanuts?
comments.
How many peanuts are in peanut butter?
Like
612. 612.
It's definitely over 1,000.
Hey, wait, dude, it's a trick question. There's butter.
Diversion
too.
much? Diversion.
One peanut.
No, I can
point
ask
two.
that question all day. I can want the answer to that question. It is a meaningless question, and it's also irrelevant. You get my point, Marcus.
What he's saying is that it has nothing to do with the argument at hand. That's what he's saying.
When you
Right,
take
Karen?
longer to say that,
Please.
when you say something like, you're flying down a hill at 90 miles an hour and your wings fell off. How many apples would you have left?
7.
Dude, what?
So, Marcus, we're not here to satisfy your curiosity
And where are
about
they?
everything in the universe.
I
We're
got
kind of trying to have a flat Earth debate here.
Okay,
Hang on,
gravity.
the
explain.
universe shouldn't be a debate here if
Done.
we're talking about
Debate
flat
over.
Earth. Like, no flat earther should believe in the universe. Isn't that right?
Perpetual motion, perpetual energy.
Why does a flat earther have to believe anything thing one way or the other. Where is this flat Earth dogma book that I haven't heard of?
Well, I haven't written that book, my friend, and I haven't seen that book, but
Big Mac?
If nothing else, I would expect a flat earther to believe that the Earth is basically flat.
No, I want to go off that comment. Sorry, who said that comment just before?
I did. Critical.
Yeah, go off what you said. Let's start a conversation.
Well, what you said is I would think a flat earther should believe this, and my rebuttal to that was, well, why? Is there some kind of dogmatic book that a flat earther has to believe that the Earth is flat with no universe, or he has to believe it this way or that way? That was my only point.
You would think that
I'm
he
not
would believe
putting anyone
the
into
Earth is flat.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to call yourself a flat earther,
let's get into that. Why would you call yourself that?
The Earth is flat. No,
because it looks pretty damn flat.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Just want to introduce our latest guest, if you don't mind. We've been joined by David. How you doing, David?
Holy shit, David!
This morning.
What's up, David?
Hey, Tony. Good to see you here. I was looking at your post about the previous hangout that was shared, and I saw that he was live again, so I decided to join the hangout here.
See, Nathan, that's me. I'm bringing people in.
Let's go back to what we were saying.
Thanks, Tony.
Hit that super share.
You guys are ace. Thank you.
He's bringing people in, Nathan.
And we're on your side, Nathan.
Random.
We're all on this globe together, guys.
Yeah, we sure are.
Going off of that, one of the bigger reasons that I also stepped back is because of the dogma, and because people are just running around saying, hey, it's flat, 100%. We know for a fact it's flat. Look at this like all that.
Yeah, type someone, as soon as someone says that, just discount what they say. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot.
As soon as someone claims they know something that someone else doesn't, you know what I mean?
I think it's interesting to see why they think these things and, where it comes from.
Yeah, so let's step into psychology for a second. And even then.
Well, my thing is like, okay,
I'm really
you take
interested in all of your psychology.
Each argument, each thing that they think it's flat, each thing, like, okay, is it flat because it looks flat? Well, does it really look flat? What would you expect to see if it was flat versus what do you actually see?
Well, logically, we are small as poo. Sorry, Nathan.
Right, we're like little tiny
we are
mites
very small.
on a
so
tennis
we
ball.
can't do this, perspective level. So we got to get up and invent some planes and get up there and see it for ourselves. Until we invent some planes and get off in our backyards and see it for ourselves, don't know. We can't claim anything at the moment. So, we can all claim to come on here and debate it, and then go, oh no, I'm on the fence, like I am.
But logically,
what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being on the fence?
But logically,
nothing at all. Logically, as I said, I am.
Wait a second. Logically,
doesn't sound like it, bro.
If you were on a flat plane and you were able to see with because we know we can see long distances,
level,
right?
Man. We are so small, we can't see that at the moment. But, you know what I mean? We need to get elevated
for a second,
to see that properly.
What about
over the cloud? Do we really? The question is, do we really need to get elevated to see?
Of course
that we are on a ball.
Well, something has to get elevated.
What would you expect to see if you were on a ball, though? Well, I mean, let's look at this logically. If you were on a ball,
the ball that we might be on, I'm not too sure.
Straight line in 360 degrees all the way around.
If we are on a ball this big,
if you were on a ball, you'd see
we will
also
not be able
a straight
to
line in
suspect that from
360
the size
degrees
we
all
are.
the way around you.
Right, you guys, the horizon.
So basically,
an
ant is not bigger than our little toe.
That's why you don't see curve from left to right, silly guys.
Tiny little ant. So it's like,
how long
can an ant in perspective view is not that big enough. Is not that big to both of us. So could an ant realize we are?
Bro, on your globe model, how far do I have to go up in the sky before I can start seeing?
I just live on the same land that you guys do.
Make for that depends on the instrumentation you use to look at it.
You don't have to go far at all. You don't have to go anywhere to see it.
With my own eyes.
Yes, you have to go up in the air if you want to logically see the curve.
sea level. You could see it at your height of your eyes from the ground.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes, really, mate.
Why doesn't it ever go down?
How can we see
this? You don't have to go any height. You can see it from the ground. That's
why doesn't it go down?
Marcus just asked why he can't see the surface of the Earth beyond the horizon that's blocked by the horizon.
Because the Earth
away
is
from him,
round.
out of his view. Why can't I see? Why can't I see that?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Let's get back to what you actually said, guys.
How high do you have to go?
I'm sure Nathan will,
you can see the
like cutting the bullshit out. No, go back to what you guys were talking about. Come on, let's go back to what we were talking about. Let's keep on this.
Marcus doesn't want to keep on it.
How high do you have to go to see the Earth as a globe?
No. Go back to.
Still, it starts
sorry, guys. I
moving
don't
away
have it
from
on my
you.
screen. I don't have you guys. So I don't have you guys on my screen at the moment. Wait.
So you can actually see the horizon.
I'm confused by the question.
So I can't
so
see.
You can see the horizon moving
down away from you, and you start to see curve. How high? You don't have to go very far.
No, who was saying it doesn't have to be the horizon line that you just have to see the curve. Remember that from, say you're talking about 30, how long are you like, go back to Make 4 today. What YouTube video did you watch and how it was 20,000 feet, was it?
Oh,
to see the
120.
Just all right, 120, okay.
30 Ks.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. We've been joined by Lewis Hackett. Very pleased to have you here, Lewis.
Thank you. I really liked what David was saying here. Much smarter than the other David. The fact that the horizon obscures the ground behind it is the evidence you need.
Right. It literally.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say with you. Like, sorry. So it was the other David that said that. Sorry, Lewis, to cut everyone off. I just wanted to get this out because it's not just the horizon line that you see the curve. It's from, say, Make 4, you were talking about 120 feet away or miles away, fuck whatever. I'm sorry, Nathan. But it's the curve as well from that area to you all over. It's like a little putt-putt green. You know what I mean? It's
G'day, guys.
Yeah, just do a quick intro. We've been joined by Spurs Chemo. How you doing, Spurs?
Can anyone elaborate on anything I say?
A great video by sorry to interrupt. A great video by Mark Sargent today with the
on YouTube
frozen lake. Complete proof of the flat Earth. According to the Bohr model, you're only supposed to be able to see 3 kilometers.
Let me just go back to
from 3 foot.
Why are you dismissing it because it's a YouTube video?
Sorry?
No, I'm not. No. Okay, actually.
Are you talking about the frozen lake, Jamie?
No. I'm sorry. So let me just say this first and apologize. As soon as I said that, I thought in my mind, no, I did not believe that at all.
You don't believe
I apologize for saying that. No, what I just said.
You don't believe the video?
No, we're talking about a YouTube.
No. I just said, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You know,
I got you.
Sometimes, just say sometimes. Leave it at that. Sorry.
So we have approximately 30 minutes left on this live stream. Huge thanks to everybody who has shared the show already. If you are new to this channel, or you are one of the 50% of the people watching this stream who have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, as Brenda has just done, then simply click on the link in the info box below this video when a gap opens up on the panel. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the show using sock accounts. With that, I'm going to transition back to the action and say a quick introduction to Brenda. So how are you doing, Brenda? Good to have you here.
It doesn't matter how far the distance is.
I'll just say a quick hello to Brenda, guys.
When you
Sorry
do
to
research
interrupt.
about curvature,
sorry, Spurs. Can I just say a quick hello to Brenda? Sorry, Spurs. Sorry, Spurs.
Sorry, Nathan. Go ahead.
No. You bear with me, my friend. Hello, Brenda. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
What's up,
Sorry,
Brenda?
Spurs. You carry on.
Not much. What's discussing Lake Pontchartrain video?
Yeah. I'm talking about the Lake Pontchartrain video.
No, there's no. I said we have to discard this photograph because I
Why?
said
It's not a photograph. It's a video.
Or video. We have to discard it completely.
Look.
Why?
Why?
What do you mean? Why? It's distorted beyond belief.
No, it's not. That is not distortion. That's a video. That's a guy standing in a boat.
Why? Because
around using a video that is full of distortion.
No,
if it's not CGI, it's distorted. Can you present something accurate?
It is accurate.
Okay.
Well, I don't like it. I don't want it. No.
GG, game
So,
over, guys.
I think you can agree that anyone with common sense would never use such a video or photograph.
Oh, no true Scotsman.
Now,
informal.
Now I don't have common sense. Okay, how many videos? How many videos of his do I actually have to show you?
Distance to that horizon, David. What is the distance?
The distance.
Maybe our ideas.
Do I need to pull out Google Maps and find out the distance?
You need to pull out more. You need to pull out rabbits. You need to pull out cards. You need to pull out.
Does it make any difference if I say it's 4 miles to the horizon? That makes no difference whatsoever.
Yes, because
it's
we
4 miles to the horizon.
We need to know the height of the observer. We would need to know the distance.
And if we give you that, what does it do? It makes
I'll tell you what it does. We've had observations of 3 foot from the ground, and we can see 7 miles to the other shore.
After 4 miles, it should drop.
That doesn't work on a ball because if you're 3 foot elevated, the furthest you can see until you reach the horizon is 3 kilometers. That's why we need to know the distance.
Why? Why do you say that?
Sorry?
Why do you say the furthest you can see the horizon is 3 kilometers?
If you're 3 foot off the ground, yeah.
2.98 kilometers. That's 6 foot.
Yes, if you're off the ground, if you're 3 foot off the ground.
Who said anything about 3 foot? I stand at 6 foot.
Right. And
It's
you
6
expect
foot.
to see further.
300
We're talking about 3 foot.
3 miles at 6 feet.
You're supposed to, on your ball, you're supposed to only be able to see.
How are you computing that? What's your formula? What are you using?
What are you talking about? According to your ball, you should understand this. Right, as soon as I say this, you should say, yes. That's how a ball model.
I'm asking you how you're coming up with your numbers. I don't care what you say I said, because I didn't say anything. I'm asking you what formula.
So when I say 3 feet off the ground, instantly you should have the calculations for where the horizon should be.
I don't. I should. Don't tell me what.
Yeah, of course you should. You believe in this ball. So you
I don't.
all the information.
That's the point. I don't actually believe it. I know intrinsically. I am saying.
So what is the distance to your horizon? I just told you.
I don't sit there and get those numbers in my head, sir. I'm asking
how
the horizon where the horizon is.
Away.
You're the one with the belief
horizon.
If you're 6 foot, the observer can only see 4.7 kilometers away. So what is the distance
to the horizon? No. But we're seeing things that are going over the horizon here. It's irrelevant where the horizon is. We're seeing things that are curving over that horizon, irrespective of where the horizon is.
Standing taller, you can see them higher. They're part of them is below the horizon.
Discard this photograph, discard this video until you know the actual measurements. It's useless. Absolutely useless, this video.
It is not useless.
The measurements could be very easy to find. Measure the distance between the pylons. There's your distance.
Right. I mean, you could do it that way, or you could go on to Google
I don't want you to
Maps
guess.
find it.
I don't want you to guess now and say, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
It's not a guess. If you know the distance between the pylons and you count
It's
the
not
pylons,
a guess.
that's multiplication. That's math, dude.
We find out from the municipal city who made the fucking pylons what their distance is.
No swearing.
One
Please don't
added up,
swear.
there's your distance.
Oh well.
Don't swear. Please.
So are you saying the bridge makers accounted for curvature?
Yeah, actually they do.
Let us speak to those bridge makers, because no other bridge maker does such a thing. The guys in China.
Yeah, they do.
The guys in China. The guys in China. They built a
Bridge.
bridge. The guys in China built a bridge, something like 1,000.
Golden Gate Bridge.
And there was no accounting for any curvature on this bridge. Why on your bridge?
No, that's your assertion. That's not true.
Curvature. Explain. That's what the flat earthers would like to know. How does your bridge makers account for curvature, yet the Chinese bridge makers account for no curvature? Explain.
That's a lie. They do. That's your assertion that they don't account for any curvature. That's not true. Of course they account for curvature. Your assertion that they don't account for curvature is false.
Are you talking about the Chinese bridge, that Dengi bridge
104 miles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's
5
also
miles of that
that's the
bridge is
one.
over water. The rest is over land. I don't know why you guys keep bringing that up.
Yeah, so it's a
We bring it
deceptive
up,
photograph.
Do you even know that? Do you even know that that bridge isn't even over water? It's a land bridge?
In fact, we don't know of any science or anything, any instruments that account for curvature. Where do they do this?
When you say we don't,
which line of
that
work?
bridge is 100
line of
mile
work
long bridge
do they
over
account
water.
for curvature?
So they
Hey,
said it-
Spurs, account for the curvature.
Yeah, which
is-
occupation accounts for curvature apart from the military when you supposedly account for Coriolis? But which
Let's back that up for a second.
Which
tunnel boring,
occupation
How
accounts
many
for
flat earthers
curvature?
think that's all over water? This is a
surveying,
big point.
Spurs, surveying,
that is a-
geodetic
that is a
surveys
big
do
point,
it
Grim.
all the time.
All right, I'm done.
Right, everybody here in the chat says nobody accounts for curvature in any line of work. Not one.
cares
Not
about
one job.
people in the chat?
It's not
Jesus.
nonsense.
Just answer what
Geodetic
Paul just
surveyors
said.
do it all the time.
We've had geodetic surveyors on here, and they've told us they do not account for curvature.
Who?
So you just
Name
lie
the
to
surveyor.
defend
Name
your
the
false model.
surveyor.
You can't accept lies to defend your false model.
Name the
You need
surveyor,
occupation.
Spurs Chemo, you liar.
What? Some dude said it in the chat.
Yeah, so
Name
it's
the
gotta be true.
surveyor.
You said
I read
NASA.
Are you serious?
I read it
Name
on
the
the chat.
surveyor.
Why does NASA account
Gotta
for
be
curvature? What do you mean?
Spurs Chemo,
almost-
why are you lying to everyone?
No,
Name
I'm
the
asking you which
surveyor.
occupation accounts for curvature. It's very simple.
And we told you geodetic surveying.
And
Where?
then you
Who?
lied,
We-
saying
we
we've
don't
had
see this.
geodetic surveyors saying otherwise. Name the geodetic surveyor that said this.
Well, like I said, Mark Sargent, he's had
Name the
all kinds of
geodetic
guests,
surveyor that said
including
this, Spurs.
the geodetic service, and they've
Have
never
you been
done
in a
anything.
plane?
You're a liar, Spurs.
No, you're the liar because you cannot bring
You're
all of
lying.
you
Spurs,
ballers,
have you been in a
Just
plane?
lie.
all of you
to
intelligent
everyone,
ballers cannot bring
Spurs.
one person to say yes.
Spurs, have
In
you been
my
in a
line of
plane?
work,
You just
I
lied to
account for
everyone,
curvature.
Spurs.
Not one.
Obviously not.
So
You just lied.
That's a task for you ballers, is to find somebody who
Well, there
has
you
an
go.
occupation where they account for curvature.
No, just get in a plane. Just go to your next suburb.
why
and
is
We're
this-
not talking about that. We're talking about
Jesus.
the line of work, James.
Why does this bridge curve down,
Alright,
Spurs
sorry,
Chemo?
I
guys.
almost
Yeah,
can't
I
believe you
understand.
would even just continue to say that like over and over again.
Spurs.
Some sort
Why
of
is
rally-
this curving
check
downward
those
like
out.
this? Both sides.
Yeah,
Why are
well,
they
I think
curving
nothing
down
else.
like this,
But-
Spurs?
The only kind of curvature like that I've seen is on a roller coaster. Is that a roller
How about
coaster?
in this image right here,
It's
Spurs?
silly right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I'm
How
looking
about
at it,
in
yeah.
this image right here, Spurs?
What you're showing me looks like a waterfall.
Mostly not
And
structure.
I've got.
You're showing
Can
a
I
water-
The
share my
answer is pretty
screen?
big, actually. It affects long span bridge construction somewhat, since you want the main supports to be parallel to the direction of gravitational acceleration, as opposed to parallel to each other.
Spurs,
Obviously.
I've got something to share. Okay.
So your supports will be further apart at the top than they are at the base. By a little bit.
Can you
This
share
is
my
just a
screen,
regular
please?
bridge building. You're acting like they
Share
don't.
my screen. I've got something that directly refutes what Spurs
Look, I'm
says.
sorry I've upset a lot of ballers by asking the question of which
By lying.
occupation.
You're lying.
Okay.
Setting
Use
you one
all
by
that in a twist, trying to find.
Can I just butt in here?
Yeah, go
Can
ahead.
you share my screen and stop
you're
talking and look at my
re-editorializing.
screen, please? Can you
Yeah, if
see what
everyone
this
stops
says?
talking, I'll be able to see your screen.
What does this title of this thing say?
Geodetic
survey work.
of high intensity proton accelerator facility. What about it?
Right, now I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. All
So
right.
get the guy where
Now,
he.
What does
Get the
this
guy.
sentence say? What does this sentence here say?
What it says, consequently, oh, it's gone. James' picture.
Oh, he suddenly can't read.
I'm not talking
Survey
about-
must consider the curvature of the Earth.
Consequently, survey works must consider the curvature of the Earth. When they were
Oh, it's
building
written
this
down. I don't believe
facility,
it. Don't believe it.
they had to take into account the curvature of the Earth. Okay.
Comes from the man.
No, that's just a piece of paper. I want to speak to the guy.
Oh my
I want
God.
to speak to the guy, and I need
Well,
to.
that's how it
Well, you go find him and speak
Yeah,
to
but
him.
then
there.
he'll
No,
just be
you
like,
need
"What
to
are
go
you
and
talking
find it.
about? I
That's
wrote a
the
paper."
point.
You know.
He's on your side, and it's just going to be more lies after lies.
You
So
can't
we
even
can
name
see
Yeah,
the
but
it.
it's just going to
surveyor
be
that you
more.
lied about, and you want us to bring you the person that wrote the paper. You can't even give the name of the surveyor you lied about.
What surveyor?
The geodetic surveyor that says they don't have curvature.
No, I'm saying that they've never said that we account for curvature, is what I'm saying.
That's a lie. They all know geodetic surveyors
People
work
saying
with
that's a lie. I'm saying, where are they? Where are these guys? You keep on saying we have curvature, we are spinning. There are guys, there are aliens. Where are they?
We just showed you one. We just
see them.
Aliens. Aliens he brings up. Oh my God. Spurs are pathetic.
There are aliens where you're saying there are guys that do this. Where are those guys?
We just showed you one.
No, you showed me a piece of paper, just like you showed me distortion, just like you showed me CGI. Can we have something real, tangible,
Where are your leprechauns? Where are your unicorns?
You know, we'd have a we'd share a joint, and you'd be like, "No, it was stone." You know, I didn't see it properly.
Again, you can't be annoyed at me for asking the right questions.
Well,
you for lying.
Probing what
us instead of to us, and as if you have some sort of an authority in any of this and we can easily see and detect that you have no idea what you're talking about. So
there's no authority.
So your false confidence
it's a very
is
simple experiment. If the Earth is flat, if the Earth is a ball, you should be able to show it either way. We can
we
show
did.
it.
And we do.
How would you like to see
tests,
we do, Spurs, and you ignore
it. Show it to you however you like to see it.
We've told you that we've done a test where you can see 7 miles. That's
By
12 kilometers.
By the way,
how do you see 12 kilometers from
you
feet?
You can present me with evidence, and I'll show you the curvature in it.
Paul, you have a lot to say usually. Explain to me, but
dude,
how can we see 12 kilometers away, Paul, from 3 foot high?
It depends on the atmospheric conditions at the time. You know darn well, Spurs.
Paul,
Stop you
right there, Paul, because the conditions were perfect for this test.
Spurs, if you want me to give an answer, let me speak.
You're about to talk about
refraction,
and no refraction at night on a cold lake, freezing.
That is an absolute lie.
There are no. You will not get.
That is an absolute lie, Spurs.
And you talk over me.
It'd be a good night, but.
Sperkismo isn't a flat earther. Nighttime test on a frozen lake. How can we see 12 kilometers, Paul? Not refracted.
Now, are you going to let me answer without talking over me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You know darn well, Spurs, that it takes only half a degree of refraction to allow us to see significantly further than the model calculates and predicts. That is a well-known and well-proven fact. And you guys use it wrongly to try and say that the Earth is flat. These are rare occasions when you can do this. And you go out there and you find an observation where you can do it and you claim the Earth is flat. Well, why don't you go out and do that every day? Why don't we see it in every observation that we see?
We've done the experiment, 3 foot high. You're only supposed to see 3 kilometers, maximum 4 kilometers at 3 foot.
That's a lie, Spurs.
And that's a lie.
We can see shore to shore. We can don't all jump in at once. We can see shore to shore at 3 foot on your ball. How is that possible?
Where is the experiment?
Oh, you want to see the video? Okay, let me.
Well, there's heaps of showing buildings.
The video is not an experiment.
No,
I also want you to realize
just sit while I get it up because you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. How we can see 12 kilometers.
We've already done a lot of explaining.
3 foot high.
You haven't noticed.
3 foot high. Freezing cold conditions. How is this possible on your ball?
Okay, but stop saying that the horizon is the limit of your vision, Spurs. That's an absolute lie. Nobody believes that.
And that's globe to
the question is, is it possible to see the shore
calculation is for.
Curved? Is it possible to see the other shore at 3 foot?
Yes, it is possible. Now stop lying.
Your ball?
I told you how it was
possible. Works on your frisbee.
I told you how it was possible, and you're ignoring it.
Can I ask?
I already told you how.
Tell me on your frisbee how the vernal equinox works.
Can I just ask Paul a question without anyone interrupting?
From the east, no matter where you are on the planet, on your frisbee.
Can I please ask Paul a question, and then you guys can
ask me a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Have you been to Hamilton Island?
Yes, I have.
Me too. And I was a painter on Hamilton Island, right? And I stood up top and I was watching them build a horizon pool, just to the curvature of the Earth. And I was actually shocked. I took a photo and I was like, you can actually see the curvature standing on Hamilton Island. And I was actually just figuring out, oh, hang on, there's 3 Aussies here, including me, so 2 Aussies. Have you guys been to Hamilton Island and stood on the top of the island and seen that? It's amazing. That's all.
Do you have a picture?
I do, on my old phone. But I will get it, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I will get it. Not tonight, but I will put it on there. Definitely. And I'm trying to look into bird migration as well, because I think there's something to do with bird migration that points to a
Nathan, if you want
globe
to
Earth as well. Okay, well, thank you. But I thought, well, thanks for interrupting, but I thought that was a really good point. But I will come back in a.
Can you share my screen, Nathan? Yeah.
Jesus. All right. So bird migration, I will come back in on another few chats in the future. But I think bird migration has a lot to do with a globe Earth. But I will get back to you on that, guys.
Cool.
But yeah.
Can you hear me?
But anyway,
Nathan?
Paul. So you have seen Hamilton Island thing. I just said to you guys that.
Hear me now?
I've seen something, but you know. You got. Don't worry about it.
Nathan,
I just wrote a quote.
Can you share my screen?
I don't want to lose any friends on it. But flat Earth versus globe, maybe could be an analogy for God versus. I need another line there. So if anyone in the future can give me another line for that, that'd be great. Sorry, guys. Continue.
Hey, Spurs, can you forward to the relevant stuff?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone can hear. Can you turn him down, please, Nathan?
Can you share my screen?
Turn him down? Yeah, it's on there. It's the only screen I've seen, to be honest.
Right, can you pause? You want to double check that?
Are you Nathan? Do you have control over this?
Good. Have a quick look at that. Very good.
Curvature is not elevation, Spurs.
Sorry?
Because I'm on a phone. How can I see it?
No, Curb, we're not listening to all these lies that you're trying to confuse
the paragraph
people.
on the screen is a lie.
We're not listening to your lies.
Not curvature.
The ball in all directions is the same.
Curvature is not elevation.
Hey, dude, hang on. What was that evidence you were showing? Were you using Google Maps? Because I couldn't understand it. Was that CGI, that evidence you were showing us, that Google Map footage? Was that CGI?
Who?
Hang on a second. No, go back to that footage you were showing, because I was really interested in that. No, the top side view. Yeah,
that was Google Earth. That's Google Earth.
Google Earth.
Is that Google Earth? I don't believe that at all. We can't believe that. That's from NASA. Jesus.
They're just showing us the distance across the lake.
But that's not.
Yeah, but I can't take that.
It's not really rocket science. It just tells you how far it is from one side to the other.
That's Photoshop, my friend. I don't believe that for a second.
And yeah, this is also goes on to say
it's not reality.
It puts a lie up on the screen too.
Stop trolling.
That's a lie right there.
Your video isn't CGI.
So Nathan, are you screen sharing me or what? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you've been screen sharing for a while, Spurs.
You are, yeah, good man. Right. So look, we've got the camera 3 foot off the ground, and according to your ball, we can only supposed to be able to see 3.11 kilometers.
That's the distance to the horizon, not how far you can see.
So when we look across to the other side, our horizon point at 3 foot would only be 3 kilometers. Beyond that, we can't see, according to your ball.
That's a lie, Spurs.
That's not right.
No, that's according to your
terrible
ball. Well, we're going to see
the
math
terrible
anyway. This guy
evidence,
will show us the math. So look, let's just confirm. Let's verify.
Presentation, to be honest.
Spurs Chemo, the horizon does not extend upwards as a wall blocking you from seeing beyond it. You can't see the surface beyond.
Can't argue with me, Curb. Argue with the facts. Right, so
you don't have facts, Spurs.
All you ballers out there want to know how much should be missing, that we can get the
what are you talking about?
And the
Where's
miles,
the other
target distance.
Distance to horizon, Spurs. That is not the limit of your vision. Yeah. Don't be a fool.
So at 7.53 miles, there should be 21 feet of hidden curvature. All right?
By map alone. Without
Okay,
counting
I will
exact-
stipulate that 21 feet of stuff is hidden beyond the curve. 21 feet, that's it.
According to your ball, there should be 21 feet of missing curvature.
Let's do something better than
21
that.
feet of thing hidden behind the curvature.
Let's take observations
Right.
from 47.
Anything beyond
0.35
miles,
kilometers.
we should
At
now
1
be
meter.
zooming into space at 3 foot.
All right, let's get through this.
Yeah, let's get through it. Yeah.
Let's get through it. Those mountains are
So
a lot
move
taller
on,
than 21
Spurs.
feet, by the way.
This is a lot easier because we have the actual, with this information, we have the data on these towers. We know exactly how tall they are. Here's the technical info. 265 meters.
Obviously, if you're 6 foot, you can see 4.7
meters.
kilometers.
Okay.
That's distance to horizon, Spurs,
So you
not
know-
how far you can see. Stop it.
About 10
I don't know
minutes
what you're on
left,
about, so you'll
guys.
have to
About 10
explain
minutes
that to me
left.
afterwards.
That's the problem, Spurs.
That's-
You
yeah,
don't
you don't
understand
understand.
reality.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about, so you'll have to explain.
Is
that
this for your
Right.
for your test
So
tomorrow, so you can get the answers off here, and then you can A+ tomorrow?
So, okay, what's the point here? Get to the point.
Point is that you're not supposed to see 7 kilometers at 3 foot.
Nonsense.
Where do you get
Of
these
course you can
measurements?
see.
Why wouldn't I be able to
What are you
see?
talking
Say
about?
more.
Not
I
sure.
just can't see
to the
past
horizon.
below the
I can
curve.
see
I
it.
can't see what's hidden by the curve. I can see what's above it. I can't see what's
Yeah, are you-
below it.
That's why when you showed your curvature video, I asked you the distance to that horizon. None of you, not one of you, knew.
It doesn't matter because stuff
Spurs?
is hidden by the curve. I can't see what's hidden by the curve. I
Spurs?
can see what's above it.
Spurs
Right.
think
Right.
If
So
you want
look,
to pay closer
calm,
attention, this
hold
video
your
describes
horses.
exactly the
So,
method you
first
need.
of all, they elevated the wife. She was up here somewhere, and he asked if he could
Let's
see it.
go
And he
on a
asked her
video.
to walk down.
At least use
how
philosophy.
high above
He asked her to
is-
walk down to the beach line, beachfront there, and down to the peninsula. And she walked to the water's edge, and they continued to do the experiments. So they waited till night because it was less refraction. Because you ballers like to complain about, oh, you know, this, that, and the other. So
I feel like that, sweetie.
So the point is, he started to look for her along the beach. I don't know if we can hear that. We don't need the sound anyway, but he's looking for her.
Does he find her is the question.
Does he find her? Well, that's
did
what we're
you
going to
make
find
this
that out now.
video?
He
43
actually
kilometers
finds her.
away.
He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He's
They
like,
see
where are you, wife?
127 meters of hidden target distance.
So he still can't find her. Very difficult to find anybody at this distance.
Well, yeah.
And then he's like, he says,
I'm
hold on
showing
a
you-
minute.
I'm showing
He says,
another
"What's
video
this?"
that's showing
This is a
exactly
joke, bro.
how wrong you are.
He was
He said,
like,
turn the light
holy
off.
shit.
He said,
I
turn the
was
light
drunk.
on, turn it
I'm
off, turn
sorry.
it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. Then he's like, I found you. So then he asked her, where is that light? Is it shoulder length? Is it chest height? She says, well, it's on the ground. He's like, oh my God, it can't be.
Well, how high above the surface of the lake is she?
She's at the edge of the
No, she's not. You can see that the light is above it.
She's on it. She's on the ice. Just to answer
She's
that
actually
question.
on the
She's
ice, on the
it.
edge. Yeah.
No, she's not.
Well,
The light
the text
is
says
on.
she's walking to the peninsula.
The light is
All right,
on
guys, is she?
the ice.
Is your site over a lake though? Is it over a body of water though?
Yeah, and what temperature was
Right,
the
so
lake
is it a
versus the
peninsula?
Is it,
temperature
no,
of the
no,
air?
no, no, no,
The
no,
water
no,
was
no,
frozen.
no. Answer that. Is it over a body of lake? Yes.
So there's your proof of a flat Earth
No, it's
because
not.
on your
No, it's
baller,
not.
Bullshit. No,
this
because
would
the
be
Earth can be
impossible
curved and the water.
to do.
No.
It's
You don't
not
understand land
impossible.
masses and the way water
is
meets
insane.
So
land.
you can
You know
call
what
me
I
all the
mean? If
names
you're
you like
looking
now.
over
You
a
can
body
be
of
as
water,
aggressive, as
can I
abusive.
just?
You can
It's
run
hard to
away.
debunk that
my
because
friend.
you don't even
Whatever you
they
need
don't
to
even
do.
know exactly
There's no
where
abuse
she
to
was.
Soaking,
She was on
soaking
an
the
elevated
information
second.
that
ground.
that's
You
happening.
just
They said, "Oh, I think we're
Hey,
somewhere over
Nathan,
here.
Nathan.
I'm not sure where we
you
are.
see
The
him?
target is."
She was on an
You
elevated.
raised the point.
She
You
was on a
wanted a
hill.
rebuttal, or do you just want your
On
own?
the
Four people talking, so I'm going to have to turn it all down because literally no one can understand a word that's being said at the moment. So just one at a time. Spurs has finally got to his point. He's put it something extremely contentious, and now 5 people are talking, which says it all.
Well, yeah, I've pretty much finished. I mean, there's the proof, and let them discuss and let them call the abusive names and say we don't understand. Let them make up things up.
Are you trying to show out of focus
how you can
videos?
see?
You turn me down.
The thing
Am I
is,
looking at
you
out of
guys,
focus
is that-
star videos coming from you? Is that what that is?
I can't hear you. Quinn.
More proof that the flat
click
earthers
on the
don't
other
know
one.
how to focus their P900s. That's
And
literal.
where-
That's literal. What you're doing, that's disinfo. Pretending
That
like
is
that's what the
disinfo.
stars look like.
Where is
telling
the
everybody
light?
that.
Where
No,
is
he's
the
not-
camera?
I just brought up a good
Why
point.
is the light moving around all over the place? Dude's supposed to be on a tripod.
Tony,
What's going on?
What about
No,
this boat? It looks like
right.
the boat
it's-
rises up to the horizon.
And I would also.
Why can't he
Them not knowing how
This
to
is
focus their
bullshit.
cameras.
This foot. No one ever. Can I please say my piece?
She's
on a hill. You guys are just in denial. The quick responses.
She's on a
were-
hill. She's
I
on
know,
a hill.
It was a
Hear me
couple
out.
of
Not on the
silence.
ground. She's on a
Back to
hill.
this
Hear me out,
again.
my
Right,
God.
there's now
You know
four
what? It's
people
unbelievable,
talking
right?
again. So Jamie just tried to get the mic. He got a pause, and then Brenda immediately talked over him.
Silent,
yeah,
mate.
you way out,
Can't
Yeah,
yell
you
here,
want to
but
listen to say, Paul.
I would have
Curve,
felt
you're
better.
just in shock. I understand. Jamie, what do you have?
Man,
I've already heard you.
Okay,
all
thank
right?
you.
Well, what
Thank
I've
you.
got to say is
I
that you've
think
just
everyone
pulled
else
back.
should get a turn
Paul,
to talk.
I want to
after.
hear. I want to.
you've just
Spurs
pulled-
done,
this as
right?
well.
We've heard this
I
all
wanna-
Can I
over.
just
Can
say
I
something
hear
here?
Paul?
Thank you.
I'd love
Okay,
to
there's a
hear
couple of
something else.
well, everyone else has to stop. There's a couple of clear points here. You just pulled back from your zoom, and it can clearly be seen that you're not at the water's edge.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we have
Can
no
I just fit in with
verification.
that? And I want to
that
hear
she-
your opinion on this.
There
point,
is no verification whatsoever in this video that she is holding the light on the water. There is
And
no
it's a prime
verification of that.
I agree. I agree. 100%.
It's not evidence unless you can verify that she is holding the light on the water, and you haven't done that.
I would
This
also
is rubbish.
I would
I'll
also
show the
point
picture.
out that the title of
See,
the
you want
video.
back there, you go. You're not sure.
Basically, you just want them to do the test again to your satisfaction.
No, okay.
Fine.
No, actually, Paul has a valid
no one
point,
ever
right?
thinks.
Flat earthers ask
Spurs,
us
please be
evidence
quiet.
to
You talk
our
too much.
satisfaction, which you don't
Paul
see.
has a very valid point. I'd
Jesus fucking
like to
Christ,
make a
Grim.
point.
Shut
I
the
would like
fuck
to
up.
finally make one point. You shut up.
Oi!
All right. Dang. I would like
Oi,
to
come
finally
on.
make a point as well. All right. I've been trampled over since I've
Yeah,
been
okay.
here.
Can I
All
just
right.
ask
It's
you
another
something?
fine example.
No one ever.
Another
No
flat
one
Stop
ever.
talking
No
and let
one
him
ever.
speak, please.
Oh my goodness.
No one
It's another
ever.
fine examples of
Listen,
how
just shut.
Spurs.
Shut it.
Hey,
Shut
Jamie.
it. Please. I love you,
Please.
but shut it.
Yeah. Thank you. It's
Okay,
another
you
fine
you have your
example of
day,
how
and then I'll have.
Are
my
you
day.
still talking, young man? Silence yourself. It's another fine example of how Spurs is proving or debunking another flat earther, because flat earthers like to say, look, this is what the stars really look like. And you can see clearly in that video that they're getting the same aberration, the same effect
Thanks
from
for
those
letting me
out of focus
my point.
images
Thank
of
you
the lights
for
that
that.
they're photoing. So there's a fine example of how one flat earther actually accidentally debunks another flat
Yeah.
earther.
Been joined by Sleeping
Yeah,
Wives.
this is one example of
we've got about
intruding
60
and
60
completely
seconds.
changing the subject on very good points. But
Can I
hey,
just- can I
you're,
just
you're very
correct
good at that, my friend. You are good at something.
Can I just
Yeah.
correct
talking to you right now?
where the light was?
What you, my friend.
Gents.
Oh yeah, you don't know me very well. You might want to back that up.
Obviously.
Guys.
I've already debunked all of these little knuckleheads several times.
Listen to the
Riley,
facts.
Spurs. Yeah,
Listen-
Paul's
listen
been
to
in
the
here now
facts.
since he's
That
been in here.
light
He's
that
done it
that,
several times
camera
too.
was
Okay,
picking
well,
up.
you didn't obviously hear
Oh,
anything I
man.
said.
Guys,
You just
listen.
interrupted me.
Listen,
Well,
guys.
you haven't said
Okay, so
anything
can
that I
I,
haven't
let me,
already said.
can I
All
say
right?
my point?
Don't worry about
It's
it.
been running. Like, listen, read back to it.
Come
It's
on,
probably
Nathan. We
like,
need order because look,
hopefully
the ballers
7
now. We've
minutes.
just
Okay.
blew up the whole
So anyone
system now,
that
and now they're
looks
all
over
won't let anybody
a
speak.
curved edge
Come on, get a bit
and
of order.
sees the boats disappearing or whatever you want,
Guys.
if you're looking over a body of water.
And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you, first and foremost, to the live audience for tuning in and, of course, for sharing this live stream. I'm hugely grateful to all who share these streams, as it increases the live audience, which increases the diversity of the panel. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.